Okay, my people, welcome back to Gospel News. We are still here bringing you updates back to back on as it take the happen. This our brother, what did they call Enyinnaya Abaribe, the senator, they represent Abia State for a very long time. He don't come out to come speak on the Emebu and Emebu Ndibo in Nigeria. I go play on in video so that I go use on our ears. Take hear this is coming after the Supreme Court have said that Nnamdi Kanu must continue to stand trial. Instead of finishing the case, they rather sent the case back to the lower court. Who does that? Which country does that? Only Nigeria. I don't tell on and say this country where they call Nigeria is supposed to be added in one of the 1,000 ways when people take the pie, because Nigeria, they buy destiny, they buy dreams of many people. But anyhow, may we continue to give you this information. As it be so, may we start. Okay, let's start with Enyinnaya Abaribe's statement and his complaints and lamentations on the issue of Igbos in Nigeria.
We see a situation where in the same country there are bifurcated treatments for the same citizens. And so, if you're from the southeast, first, you're denied access to national resources. Secondly, the southeast is a zone that is under siege by all the security formations in this country.
Well, the reason they give is that the solution that IPOB has tried to implement was to secede.
And no, I'm coming. The siege was there before IPOB. From any time that you can go back from the end of the Civil War till today, if you go from the town of Onitsha to Owerri and go from the town of Owerri to Aba, you will get not less than 140 police checkpoints. Every 1 kilometer there's a police checkpoint. What do? They're not checking for security. They're simply extorting money from commuters on the road, from bus drivers, KK drivers, almost. People pay to be posted to the southeast. And you leave the southeast and you're driving all the way to the rest of the country. You don't see the same type of intense policing, let's put it that way. So what the question you will ask yourself is, why are we different? Or why are we treated differently? That happened a long time before the question of IPOB came. They didn't bring people because of IPOB. It is the fact that all these things had happened, that there was a deliberate policy to cripple all the ports in the southeast region, Port Harcourt, Calabar, Warri, all those ones. None of them is working. You will have to take everything to Lagos. And so you're an importer in Onitsha. You must go to Lagos. The shortest one to you is Warri, actually, before even Port Harcourt, all those ones. Why? You can't have a ship pass through there. Why? No dredging. Why is there no dredging? Federal government policy, no contracts for it. So you ask yourself, if this is like this way, then that means that there is a deliberate policy to keep us down or something. And so, what is the reaction? Two ways. You appeal or you fight. And so, you have two sets of people in the southeast now. Those who want to, let's continue talking, let's see how we can resolve this issue. And then those who say, no, we're already down and out. What else does it take? let us all die. You know, the federal government just turns a blind eye. And I continue to say, and I have sat on the floor of the Senate and I've said it, why has this federal government not ever opened their mouth to say that the herdsmen are terrorists? Why? Why would this federal government not ever agree that all those people who are carrying AK-47s are killing people are terrorists? Yet, it was so easy to quickly go to court to get an injunction and declare IPOB terrorists. That means that in the mindset of those who are running this country today, they see some people as their enemies. They have not come out of the Civil War. 50-something years later, they are still fighting the Civil War. And so what they do today is that they come and call us. I'm a politician. I'm one of those who are seen as, and say, oh, don't worry. If you just be with us, we will make you president. And they think they are talking to fools. And they tell us, oh, don't worry. This is time for Igbo president. No Igbo man wants a president. What we want is that you restructure this country so that me and you, Ladi, we are seen as citizens. So that if I carry an AK-47, you jail me. It's not if I carry a flag, you jail me, and then I carry an AK-47, you say, leave him, he's our brother coming from Burkina Faso. How can that be?
But you haven't touched on what I said.
And what is that?
About IPOB.
I have touched on IPOB, and I've told you the underpilling.
Why do they think that you are now part of the problem?
The reason really, the reason really is that they look at me, they look at Ekpa, they look at all of us, and they say, but you people are sitting down there. Because there are also young people who believe that you should do the fight, and not that there are other ways of engaging in this. We're not as young as they are. Most of us have crossed 60, and so we believe that you should talk. Quite all right. So you could understand their frustration, because what they will feel is that, I mean, you have talked for too long at every point, you know, and they will tell them, no, understand it. 4 years is not an eternity. So we will have to continue to do these engagements. Let me put it that way.
All right, I'm on. I don't hear from our brother, what they call Enyinnaya Abaribe, the senator representing the Southeast. I'm at the Senate House, so I'm the minority leader for the Senate. Now, his statement tallies with this non-release of Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian government. The Supreme Court has set aside a judgment by the lower court that dismissed the terrorism charges against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The apex court who held that the Court of Appeal was wrong and that the trial court couldn't try him because the prosecution violated his right. In the judgment prepared by Justice Garuba Mohammed, the court condemned the invasion of Kanu's residence, declaring it irresponsible. The court held that there is no law in the country stopping a trial based on the violation of rights of a suspect. Mohammed said if the police should destroy the house of a suspect to obtain exhibit, should that diverse the court against entering the offense? His remedy should be the way of civil proceeding. Proceedings can be stopped on account of the violation of the rights of the suspect. That is not our law for now. We decided not to go with the Court of Appeal, though we condemn the violation of his rights. Nigeria must redeem its image and adhere to the rule of law. If a person has been granted bail, why did you invade his house? That is irresponsible. You shouldn't blame him for running. Okay, then on that case, you have to leave him since you violated his right and which made him run away. No legislation in the country stripped the trial court of the jurisdiction to go ahead with Kanu's case, despite the illegal action of the federal government. The law must take its course. The Court of Appeal was wrong that the trial court couldn't try him. The appeal is allowed and the cross appeal is dismissed. Kanu was first arrested in 2015 under the administration of former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari. He was subsequently granted bail in April 2017 and fled the country after an invasion of his home in Afaruku near Umuahia, Abia State by the Nigerian military in September 2017. Kanu was rearrested in Kenya and brought back to Nigeria in June 2021. He was arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja on 4 charges of treasonable felony, conspiracy to commit treasonable felony, illegal importation of radio equipment, and defamation of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The charges were later withdrawn by the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami's son, who replaced them with a fresh 14-count charge bordering on terrorism and membership in a proscribed group, among others. The court, however, reduced the charges to 7. The Court of Appeal, sitting in Abuja on October 13, 2023, held that how Kanu was renditioned to the country violated the country's extradition treaty and was also a breach of his fundamental human rights. The appellate court also struck out the terrorism charges filed against Kanu by the Nigerian government and ordered his release from the DSS facility. The federal government, through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, appealed the court ruling and subsequently obtained an order staying the execution of the court judgment at the Supreme Court. Kanu, through his lawyers, filed an appeal against the stay of execution order at the Apex Court on November 3, 2022. Displeased by the verdict of the appellate court, the federal government filed an appeal at the Supreme Court. Now, like this now, this case don't they turn. If they hold them, they go turn back and hold the people when hold them. So, ejide ejaria, that is what we have been facing up till now. And so this wahala take the boss out. But the way when things they be, so it be like say this federal government of Nigeria today, no one do anything to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This was what we are facing in court today. Let's hear from this our brother who was in court during the day of trial. That was on Friday, 15th of November, 2023. Bros, talk to us.
My brother, Upper Supreme Court don't know. Supreme Court, there are coaches that now lawyers cannot enter. The whole place is very dry. The road were completely barricaded. Lawyers were turned back. Mona fine boy, one no do, and other lawyers not on our team. We are stopped from entering. It took serious intervention before they allowed me and fine boy to enter. They stopped the other lawyers, stopped the other people at the gates. They didn't let them enter. As I'm talking to you, they didn't let them enter. This Supreme Court, look at how dry it is. Ordinary ruling. They are stopping lawyers from entering courts, stopping people from entering the courts for ordinary ruling. If any man in this country, very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. But I've been able to enter. I'm heading inside the court now. You can see how dry the whole place is.
When I don't see what thing they happen. Now the kind of thing when Nigerian government they do, now be this one. Oh. Even Shawore, our brother, what they call Oboyele Shawore, they still disturb the man or DSS. Mona Sian.
Good morning.
No access.
Why?
No access.
Why?
No access.
How's it going?
No access for sure. I do it.
Why would you say no access for sure? Which order? Who gave you the order?
Say I turn this motor.
Who gave you the order?
Turn. No vex.
Who gave you the order that I should not have access to the?
Don't camera us here.
What? Who gave you the order? I want to call somebody. No.
Don't camera us here. I will break this phone.
Organize yourself.
Why are you cameraing?
Organize yourself.
Now you supposed to behave yourself.
Organize yourself.
Turn this motor.
Organize yourself.
Oh yeah. Baba, move.
Organize yourself. Why would you want to take my phone? What do you want to take my phone for?
Bro, come back, do your work. Don't turn there.
Don't turn, no problem.
Don't turn there.
Una don't see wahala. Una don't see wetin dey happen for this country. That was during the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The kind of things when Nigeria they do. But this country is not going anywhere. Anybody where they tell you say this country go better, that person a criminal. Anybody, be it pastor. I even see Adeboye when they yano pata. They talk say this country, they say it go fall, it still keep standing. Bless I go talk about that on the next one. Sometimes we think there will be no more Nigeria, but it keeps standing. Pastor Arusi CG overseer Pastor Adeboye. Make I talk about on the next one, I beg. I just feel kind of tired on all this matter we be say they happen so.